Hopefully we could get it before. Nah, it probably won't be this year.
Is that the one you want next?
It's definitely the one I want next.
Tank want a rematch. Let me know now. Do you want to fight Tank again? He said he open to do a rematch. Do you want to fight Tank
100%. It's only a matter of time. We're gonna fight. We're gonna fight again. It's just whenever the fight gonna happen.
So it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
Okay. They say they want it in New York again. Do you want to fight again in the Barclays Center?
I wouldn't mind, but I'd love for it to be in DC.
Okay.
I love for it to be in DC.
Get ready, boxing fans. The rematch is on. Gervonta "Tank" Davis and Lamont Roach Jr. are set to face off again after their controversial draw on March 1st. Rumors are swirling that both fighters are determined to settle the score once and for all. Roach's promoter, Gary Jonas, has hinted that the rematch is almost finalized, saying, "In my mind, it's a done deal," with only a few details left to iron out. Meanwhile, Davis seems more focused than ever, reportedly putting retirement talks on hold to prepare for this high-stakes showdown. With both fighters ready to prove themselves, this rematch is shaping up to be an unmissable event. Stay tuned for more updates.
Important question on everyone's mind: how close is the rematch? How big will it be? How close is it to getting done?
Very close. It's in my mind, it's a done deal, but there are formalities, but it's a done deal and it's not far off. I can't give you more than that right now, but what I can tell you is that it's going to be an interesting fight. I think you got dynamics. You've got Gervonta, who's probably going to be angry, probably woken up, probably more focused than he has been, not talking about retirement. That's a factor.
The first showdown between Gervonta "Tank" Davis and Lamont Roach Jr. on March 1st, 2025, left the boxing world buzzing with controversy and calls for a rematch. Held at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, the fight ended in a majority draw. The judges scored at 115 to 113 for Davis, while the other two had it 114 to 114. One of the biggest talking points came in the 9th round when Davis took a knee. Many believed it should have been ruled a knockdown in Roach's favor, but referee Steve Willis did not count it as such, sparking heated debates among fans and analysts. With so much uncertainty surrounding the result, the demand for a rematch is stronger than ever.
Welcome into the ProBox TV studio. The story we've been dealing with all week, the fallout, of course, from Lamont Roach Jr. and Gervonta Davis. The fight ended up being a majority draw. The controversy around a 9th round knockout that was not called by the referee that would have completely changed the outcome of the fight and perhaps changed boxing history.
For me, Tank Davis fighting a minus 1600 as your main event odds is crazy to me, dude. That's crazy. That underdog lived up to the hype. He ended up, overperforming. Lamont Roach, credit to him, all this other stuff. And it took some politics to keep Davis as champion. You ever see guys getting the referee their own fight? Dude, anybody else takes that knee, you're getting counted, bro. The referee, actually, his instinct, if you watch that, the referee's instinct was to count. If you notice, Steve Willis started counting, and then he looked at the timekeeper outside the ring, wasn't counting, and he stopped counting. So you get to call your own timeout. Earlier in the fight, if you saw that shoulder barge that Tank did to Roach in the clinch, he didn't get a warning, but Roach's reaction got the warning. This is the politics we're dealing with. You keep doing this, you're looking at short-term money and long-term destruction of a sport.
He take a knee. You need to lose like 10-8 that round at least, no? And plus the corner go up and put it a towel in the face. That's a disqualification for sure. I'm talking about the rules, but it's not my business.
Critics believe Gervonta Davis intentionally took a knee in the 9th round against Lamont Roach Jr. to disrupt Roach's momentum and regain control of the fight. Instead of risking getting overwhelmed by Roach's aggressive attack, Davis may have used this move to buy himself a few extra seconds to recover. Many fans and analysts see it as a strategic veteran tactic rather than a desperate reaction, adding another layer of debate to their already controversial showdown.
When has the last time somebody stood in the pocket versus Gervonta "Tank" Davis and survived? The last person that attempted to do it was Leo Santa Cruz, and that man's head is still rolling somewhere around the arena. And I say that respectfully with no remorse. That's why what Lamont Roach did last Saturday night was so absolutely amazing. Lamont Roach in the pre-fight press conference, that was one of the few fighters that was not terrified of Gervonta Tank Davis. That's right. And the man flat out put on a show.
Get your hand out of my pocket!
He proved Two-Tone the Superstar wrong. He proved everybody wrong. And that man went ahead and cooked. And he gets robbed by the New York State Athletic Commission. And these people acknowledge that the knee that Gervonta Tank Davis took was a knockdown. They acknowledge this. They say, yes, it was a knockdown. But now they are saying, well, we don't know how the rest of the fight would have went on. Maybe Tank might have turned up. When the last time you seen Tank turn up? Gervonta Tank Davis might be a front runner. I say that respectfully. And to go ahead and keep it real with y'all, I think that knee that Tank took was because Lamont Roach was in a rhythm and Gervonta Davis tried to throw this man off a rhythm. Do I believe the Murray's sport waves, the soul glow was in his eye? Absolutely not. I believe that man Tank got nerve-eye and said, hold on, this man Lamont Roach is cooking. I need to take me a quick timeout and a quick break. It's nasty. It's horrible. It's disgusting. It's bad enough how hard and difficult it is to beat this man. Most fighters is weight trained. Most fighters has clauses on them. So when somebody who's coming up is able to compete with Gervonta Tank Davis, you handicap the man with trash ruling.
Boxing fan Leonardus Maximus IV didn't hold back when addressing the controversy surrounding Gervonta Davis's fight against Lamont Roach Jr. He pointed out that Davis took a solid jab, with most of the impact hitting his left eye, the same eye his corner had to treat between rounds. Many argue that this moment should have been ruled a knockdown in Roach's favor, adding to the post-fight debate. Maximus voiced his thoughts on Twitter, saying, "This isn't a good look for Gervonta Davis. He took a clean jab, and the impact landed on his left eye, the same one his corner had to tend to. This should have been a clear knockdown for Lamont Roach."
It wasn't a braid, it wasn't oil in his eye. Tank got peppered, jab, jab, cross. Listen to Lamont Roach talk about when he knocked Tank down in the 9th and the 10-8 wasn't called. Even Wild, Lamont Roach is yelling at the ref.
Knockdown that wasn't in round number 9. Gervonta Davis takes a knee, landed a right hand, then 2 jabs afterward. What were you thinking when this happened?
Man, I was surprised, man. I ain't gonna lie. Like I thought it was a 10-8. Like that's what really was going on. Like, but like I was confused when he looked at the ref, but when he took the knee, I was like, and I grasped the concept that he was on the ground. I was like, that's a 10-8. Simple.
You asked him, right? Why you stopped?
Yeah, I asked him literally. I said, why you stop counting?
Now, to Lamont's point, you will see it and you will hear it. Him ask the referee to keep counting. Here it is.
Keep counting.
It's got to be about one in the world just happened. Took a knee.
Nobody knows what's going on.
ESPN analysts didn't hold back in their critique of Gervonta Davis's performance and the controversy surrounding the 9th round. They questioned the validity of Davis's explanation and raised concerns about his focus and preparation. Smith emphasized, in boxing, distractions can be costly. Champions need to be fully prepared, both mentally and physically. Kellerman added, this incident makes you wonder about Davis's training regimen and his attention to detail.
Yo, what's poppin'? It's Rock Solid, the beast of rap. Big baby! Yo, man, I got some good ass videos and takes on this Lamont Roach, Gervonta Davis fight. If you have not seen it, you need to go look at it now. Go look from the first one to the last one. Alright? Don't go from the top to the bottom. Go and look for the video I did immediately after the fight and then watch after, bro. Talking about everything. But Stephen A. Smith chimed in on the Gervonta Davis Lamont Roach fight. I want y'all to know what Stephen A. Smith said. I was stunned. Lamont Roach posted this on his Instagram profile. He said, I gotta stand down and give mad respect to Lamont Roach. Brother fought one hell of a fight. This was a damn close fight. Gervonta taking a knee should have been a knockdown. Either way, Roach has skills, fought his ass off, deserves nothing but respect. He earned the boxing world's attention tonight. He has mine. Thought he'd be too small. I was wrong. Roach is special.
Davis explained that the issue in the 9th round was caused by a hair treatment he had undergone 2 days before the fight. He said the grease from the treatment mixed with his sweat, leading to a burning sensation in his eyes. During the post-fight interview, Davis addressed the crowd's reaction, expressing frustration over the boos. He insisted that his decision to take a knee was a genuine response to the irritation, not a tactic to influence the fight.
Do you want that rematch next? And if so, how likely it is that we're to see that fight happen again this year?
I'm not sure, bro. I'm definitely not sure, but hopefully we could get it before. Nah, it probably won't be this year.
Is that the one you want next?
It's definitely the one I want next, but it's not gonna be next.
What is?
You might see it in a minute. You definitely might see it in a minute.
After the fight, Roach's team filed an appeal with the New York State Athletic Commission, NYSAC, arguing that the referee's mistake should overturn the draw. While the commission acknowledged the error, they ultimately upheld the original decision. Although disappointed, Roach took it as motivation, vowing to leave no doubt in a potential rematch.
It ain't no timeouts in boxing. Why are you taking? You know that. You should know that. So that's the thing where I'm like confused, because that's supposed to be a knockdown. That's a 10-8 round. If that's a 10-8 round, I win the fight. So, you know what I'm saying? Like that draw turned into a 115-114 my way.
Going in, okay, it's round 10, right? You see that you down on the score.
For Roach, the rematch is more than just a chance to settle the score. It's an opportunity to prove he belongs among boxing's elite. After his strong showing against Davis, he argued that his performance warranted a spot in the pound-for-pound rankings. His confidence has been on full display across social media, where he has actively responded to both critics and supporters, even going as far as proposing high-stakes bets on the rematch's outcome.
I just so happen to be a boxing fan that the fact that I do watch him fight, you know what I'm saying? Like I really like boxing.
Are you open to immediate rematch?
In my contract, immediate rematch was signed. I signed for the immediate rematch when I signed for the first fight.
Right.
Just in case he lost or just in case it was a draw.
So when you got a rematch clause, how long we taking?
It's up to the A side and when they want to fight. So I'm thinking it's going to be soon. I'm hoping it's going to be soon. Let's say that.
What is soon to you? When you say soon to me, I'm thinking a month.
I'm thinking July.
I'm thinking July for sure.
Roach entered the fight as the underdog, but left the ring proving everyone wrong. From the start, he displayed skill, resilience, and determination against the heavily favored Gervonta Davis. He landed sharp combinations, controlled the pace at key moments, and even had Davis in trouble. Many felt he had done enough to win, and the majority draw only added to the debate. Roach didn't just compete. He made a statement, silencing critics and cementing his status among boxing's elite, while making it clear that a rematch is well-deserved.
Has the last time somebody stood in the pocket versus Gervonta Tank Davis and survived? The last person that attempted to do it was Leo Santa Cruz, and that man's head is still rolling somewhere around the arena. And I say that respectfully with no remorse. That's why what Lamont Roach did last Saturday night was so absolutely amazing. Lamont Roach, in the pre-fight press conference, that was one of the few fighters that was not terrified of Gervonta Tank Davis. That's right. And the man flat out put on a show.
Get your hand out of my pocket!
He proved Two-Tone the Superstar wrong. He proved everybody wrong. And that man went ahead and cooked. And he gets robbed by the New York State Athletic Commission. And these people acknowledge that the knee that Gervonta Tank Davis took was a knockdown. They acknowledge this. They say, yes, it was a knockdown, but now they are saying, well, we don't know how the rest of the fight would have went on. Maybe Tank might have turned up. When the last time you seen Tank turn up? Gervonta Tank Davis might be a front runner. I say that respectfully. And to go ahead and keep it real with y'all, I think that knee that Tank took was because Lamont Roach was in a rhythm and Gervonta Davis tried to throw this man off a rhythm. Do I believe the Murrays Sport waves, the soul glow was in his eye? Absolutely not. I believe that man Tank got nerve-eye and said, hold on, this man Lamont Roach is cooking. I need to take me a quick timeout and a quick break. It's nasty. It's horrible. It's disgusting. It's bad enough how hard and difficult it is to beat this man. Most fighters is weight trained. Most fighters has clauses on them. So when somebody who's coming up is able to compete with Gervonta Tank Davis, you handicap the man with trash ruling.
Sports analyst Stephen A. Smith raised concerns about Roach's size disadvantage against Davis, saying, I think Roach is too small. That's my issue. I'm not questioning his skill set or anything like that. This sentiment was echoed by other boxing experts, including former interim WBC lightweight champion Ryan Garcia, who added, I don't think Roach has the firepower to hold off Tank. He's got great skills, but realistically, he has no chance.
Give you my picks on 3 fights taking place Saturday night at the Barclays Center in New York City between Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach, Gary Russell versus Jose Valenzuela, and Sandor Martin versus Alberto Puello. Gervonta Davis uses knocks somebody out inside of 85 punches because he's clearly capable of that. But I just see this as being a kind of fight where he's going to have to run him down. He's going to have to walk him down, rather, and he's going to have to throw some punches before he ultimately catches him. And that's how I view it. So I'm going to go with more on this particular one. Next.
For Davis, the rematch is an opportunity to reassert his dominance in the lightweight division. Known for his knockout power and previously flawless record, the draw against Roach was an unexpected setback, one he's determined to correct. Reports suggest that Davis is training with renewed intensity, possibly putting retirement talks on hold to focus entirely on this crucial fight.
I feel like Tank overall, like the bigger picture, he just wasn't focused for real. He, doing a lot of arguing in the ring and just a lot of stuff that wasn't like, he wasn't just focused. He wasn't all the way locked in the ring. You heard him say something like, it's a lot of things going on outside the ring that he was leading up to the fight, and shit, that's natural, you know what I'm saying? It's normal. Shit, I was going through the same thing to this last fight, you know, so I just feel like he just wasn't focused.
Coach Barry Hunter acknowledged that Gervonta Davis strayed from using his jab at times during the fight, which gave Lamont Roach the opportunity to stay competitive. The jab is essential for controlling distance and setting up power shots, and by neglecting it, Davis made the fight much closer than expected. Hunter also pointed out that in the later rounds, Davis appeared confused about how many rounds were left, which may have impacted his performance.
Outcome of the fight, and if you thought that them knowing each other and growing up together contributed to the performance.
Yes and no. I thought that Tank was boxing early on. I thought we abandoned our jab somewhat in the fight a little bit. But down the stretch, I thought I believe 2 or 3 rounds, I can't remember, Calvin, was one of the rounds that...
We needed 3 rounds, and he it just went like, like we said, we looked at 3 rounds. Brian was calling out, I need 3. We got 1. I need 2.
Boxing analyst Timothy Bradley recently weighed in on Gervonta Davis's mindset leading up to his rematch with Lamont Roach Jr. Bradley noted that Davis's confidence, no matter how it's perceived, makes him even more dangerous for his opponent. Reacting to Davis's calm and composed attitude, Bradley suggested that he has reached a level where outside opinions no longer affect him, which could result in an even more dominant showing in the ring. In a tweet, Bradley stated, "Whether he looks zesty or not, he knows who he is. There's a superpower to that, and he's going to take that out on Lamont Roach. I feel sorry for Roach." His comments imply that Davis's self-assurance could translate into a sharper, more aggressive performance, making him an even bigger threat in the rematch.
Right? The first one we saw was he stood alone. He stood alone on the platform. He did the whole conference by himself, right? Press tour by himself, and he did his thing. You know what I'm saying? I respect a man that can stand on his own 2 feet, for real. But this one right here, having that picture leak, him looking real zesty, and not giving a fuck. Whoo! Trying to tell y'all, my man is on a new level. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know that song? We on a new level. I'm on a new level. I'm on a new level. Yes, my dude is on a new level, man, because he know who he is. There's a power in knowing who you is. Most people don't know who the hell they are. right? They don't know who the hell they are. They think they know, but they really don't know who they are. It takes you a while to figure out. We're constantly evolving as a human, right? Constantly evolving, right? But now you know. Tank know now. So that's why he don't give a damn. Having that power, that superpower, not giving a damn. And see, that's the reason why I can come to you guys, come to YouTube. I can, sit in front of you. I can hear the boos. I can hear the, you didn't beat Pacquiao. I can hear the big head, the milk dud, the coon, all the names that everybody always call me. That's why I can sit here and just still be myself and do what I do. Cause I just don't give a about what anybody thinks. And Tank has gotten that superpower too now, baby. He just don't give a. Tank gonna be Tank. Tank gonna do what Tank gonna do. That's just it. Whether he looking zesty or not, he know who he is. There's a superpower to that. And guess who he gonna take that out on? He gonna take that out on Lamont Roach, man. I feel sorry for Roach. Roach is a good fighter, man. He's a good fighter. He is. But I'm telling you, this Tank right here is different. It's a different dude. Alright? Did y'all see the weight too? Did y'all see the weight? The dude can fight tomorrow. The dude can fight today. The dude can fight whenever. It's a few weeks away, a few months away from the fight. Woo. I'm telling y'all.
Lamont Roach Sr. firmly believes his son, Lamont Roach Jr., did enough to win against Gervonta Davis. He insists that the judges should have declared Roach Jr. the winner, arguing that his performance outshined Davis's. When he says, "We should have had our hand raised," he's making it clear that he sees the decision as unfair, feeling that victory was taken away from his son. Roach Sr. also highlights that the fight wasn't just about power and aggression. It was a battle of strategy and skill. He describes it as a high IQ boxing match, where both fighters carefully analyzed each other, set traps, and avoided costly mistakes rather than simply trading punches recklessly.
We should have got a decision, but this boxing, we didn't. It was a great fight, like I expected. But I knew my son was game. Training camp, he was so focused and locked in. I knew that we was going to put on a great performance. And it was kind of like stolen away from him a little bit with the decision. But the world got to see how good he is, so that's the plus to come out of this. So he really stamped himself in the boxing world.
In the early rounds, both boxers were cautious, studying each other's strategies, instead of immediately engaging in heavy exchanges. Roach Sr. points out that there were subtle maneuvers and technical adjustments happening that only experienced boxing analysts or fighters might fully appreciate. This phase of the fight was more about outsmarting the opponent rather than overwhelming them with brute force.
The fight early on was a battle of strategy, with each fighter trying to outthink the other.
Self in the boxing world, more so with this performance. So like I say, that's why it's bittersweet.
Is it a difficult one to take because of the controversy, certainly surrounding the Tank taking the knee moment, and then, like I say, not getting it on the scorecards?
Yeah, I thought we won without it, to be honest with you. I thought we didn't need that. We shouldn't have needed that either to get to the decision. I can't see him winning 7 rounds that fight.
It all comes down to whether Davis makes the right adjustments or if Roach builds on his strong performance. Davis has the power and experience to take control, but Roach already proved he can hang with him. If Roach sharpens his strategy and stays aggressive, he could shock everyone again. As for the knee incident, was it a smart veteran move or an actual issue? That's up for debate. What do you think? Will Davis dominate this time, or will Roach pull off the upset? Drop your thoughts in the comments.